everybody. Welcome back to the show. Today we're shining the spotlight on the Green Connections Networking Group here in York Region with one of their local members. Eva Greff is here and her company is called New Spring Energy. She is a Green Connections section sustainability consultant. And I think this is very fascinating, Eva, because you deal with sustainability in commercial kitchens and restaurants. And for those who are wondering what that means, maybe you could tell us what you deal with when you consult with a kitchen.
Absolutely, Jacqueline. Thank you. When I come into a restaurant, I look at how they are using their energy, about the lights, about their equipment. I look at how they use their water. I go into bathrooms, I go into kitchen, and I inspect everything. And I also look at how they are dealing with their food. Where do they purchase their food? Is it local? Is it imported foods? And what do they do with the waste?
Wow.
On average, I think this number is really low.
Okay.
It's about 20% of the food that restaurants buy will go to waste.
Will go to waste.
That will go to waste. And I've seen higher numbers. This is the low number.
Okay. So is it because they're just ordering too much for what they're selling? Or are there different food losses that happen in the restaurant business?
There are food losses before the food is actually prepared.
Sure.
So what happens with those pieces, they're not just quite right to serve.
Right.
You know, is there other use for them? A lot of restaurants will throw that out.
Right.
Some restaurants will use them for making, let's say, stock for the soup, but not all. The other part is the portions. When I'm a petite person, I go to restaurants, I get this big portion. I cannot eat that. I just cannot.
Yes.
So a lot of restaurants are starting to now give options for sizes. So that really reduces the waste.
And so when you go in, you look at this as a whole approach, not just the electricity or the type of containers they're using. You look at it as an entirely eco-friendly changeover, if you will. Are they obviously calling you because they want to make a change and they want to see how they can reduce their ecological footprint?
A lot of restaurants that I work with, they already have begun.
Okay.
So they are already aware and they started working on it. And a part of the draw is that I provide audits so the restaurants can get certified as sustainable restaurants. It's called LEAF certification. And that's incredible marketing.
Yeah.
People don't know what restaurants are doing. You really have to watch. You might notice that the containers that they use are the styrofoam.
I see two containers.
That's a styrofoam.
Yep.
And that's a biodegradable, compostable container made out of paper.
So the one on the right is the eco-friendly option.
This one is eco-friendly. That one isn't. That does not,
That's not good.
decompose. That stays for hundreds of years in a landfill.
And I'm sad to say that that's the one I see used all the time.
That's
so
right.
It's really, you're somebody that's starting to help people see the change. And do those restaurant owners see the value in switching over to an eco-friendly product? Does it save them money or is it more of it's good for their conscience because they're doing something good?
A lot of the restaurants I work with already are aware and they have begun the change. But what my passion is to educate the people.
Right.
You go to a restaurant, you see that, you should know what that means. If I take that home, that goes in the garbage and it's there for hundreds of years. So I encourage people to bring your own container or talk to the restaurant owners that there are better options.
That's a good
I have
idea.
done that and they've looked at me strangely, but I said, I'm not taking the container. I'd rather leave the food here.
Right.
And they would find a way to wrap it for me the way I would take it.
Wow.
But it's just making people aware that that is very damaging to us and the environment.
I think people are not as aware as they should be. You also have 3 different types of light bulbs here.
That's right.
Which one is the eco-friendly option that we should be using?
Well, the first one here is the incandescent lighting. This
Okay.
is the typical one that we are so used to, we've grown up with.
Yes, that's the one on the far right. Okay.
This one over here. In the middle, we have a CFL light bulb. That's the one we know is better choice. That's
Right.
about 4 times more efficient than the incandescent lighting, the one that we're used to from our childhood.
Exactly.
But that middle option has mercury vapor in it. So it is more efficient, but there is a trade-off of mercury.
And
The
what's
last
this little guy? I'm
one,
just going to hold it like this. I've
that
never seen a
one-
light bulb like this.
that's an LED.
Oh.
Those ones are 10 times more efficient than these ones. They last 50,000 hours compared to the 1,200 hours here. And they
That's-
do not contain any chemicals, any harmful materials in them.
And that's just a simple switch that anybody could make.
That's right.
Will it save them money as well?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a good incentive to do something.
10 times more
10
efficient
times.
than this one.
And our drink containers. We have a water bottle and we have a coffee container. Tell us about these, because one is much better than the other.
Well, the water bottle is one of the most dreadful things that we can do to the environment.
Right.
In U.S., the statistics tell us that for manufacturing these bottles and transporting them, we could fuel 1.5 million cars for a year.
Wow.
That's a lot of cars. And then once we're done with it, it goes into landfill, and once again, it does not decompose naturally. It just sits there for many, many years, hundreds of years.
And how about the coffee cups that everybody is purchasing every morning from their favorite coffee place?
I'm afraid those are not biodegradable. They are not compostable, even though they're paper. They have a lining that's plastic.
The waterproof, yes. Okay.
Yes, and that does not decompose. So actually, thinking about it, it is paper, but it is not suitable for recycling or composting
Oh my goodness.
because of that. So the option that I have brought, that cup,
Yep.
is biodegradable. It will decompose. It has a biopolymer lining instead of the plastic lining. So it is waterproof, but it will decompose. And the lid is made out of starch base.
Oh,
So
great.
it also will decompose.
Amazing options for I think people to learn about and make better choices when you are going to a restaurant. If they are LEAF certified, I think that shows that they have taken this seriously to make the steps to a better change and a better future for everybody. Thank you so much. What's your website, Eva?
It's www.newspringenergy.ca.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to talk with you. And if you
Thank
would
you,
like to
Jacqueline.
meet Eva, have her come into your establishment, she could do a full consultation and help you have a more sustainable business and a better future for everybody. We'll be right back.